yo, welcome to the stream today. My name's Milo and I'm playing games this year all about women. So all my games will have female protagonists. Today we're starting Perfect Dark, but not the one that most people would have played. It's the Game Boy Color accompanying version, which in fact in plot terms is a prequel to the main console experience. So we'll talk more about that as we go on, but let's enjoy this, this little animation. Okay, that was not a great animation, but it's dark, it's very dark, nice puns. And I see they're quickly introducing the theme of there being aliens in the game. I don't know if there are or not, but they're certainly playing it up. You can see in the box art as well, on the left I've got the European box art, on the right is the American one, and Australia we also had the same box art as that. And in Joanna's eye reflected on the right you can see a grey alien head, which looks quite a bit higher fidelity than the head that we've got in the background of the gameplay here. But anyway, let's get started. English. Oh, these are my options, okay. Espanol, Francais. Nice selector. Usually it's just like a bunch of flags in a menu, but I like this map of Europe showing what language you can pick. That's quite nice. Okay, English. Hello, Gibbon. Good to see you. Playing a rare game today. See if that draws any more people in. Oh yeah, Rumble Pack. So just like Pokemon Pinball, which I'm very familiar with, this was a Game Boy Color cart that had a rumbly thing in it. I think you put a AAA battery or maybe AA in, and it would rumble at appropriate times. And as a Game Boy Color game, it also has IR communications. I don't know what that does, actually. I didn't look that up. In certain games, it would like unlock bonus stuff. I don't think the number of squares here actually corresponds to the number that's in this circle. Yeah, so we can't do multiplayer. New agent. I tested the game out for 1 minute on Final 1. So yeah, here we are. We are Secret Agent Milo.
Joanna, after your many years
No
of
way!
study and
There's
training,
full voice
this
acting?
is the final test. Beyond this door is the Carrington
I'm really
Institute
impressed.
training ground. It simulates urban combat conditions. Using non-lethal ammunition, you must complete the tasks ahead of you. Success will reward you with the license you so desire. Failure is not an option.
Yes,
Wow.
sir. I understand.
Oh wow. I didn't expect that. I would have looked up who the voice actors are. I know that the N64 game, of course, has voice acting. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Actually, that's odd, because GoldenEye didn't. You know, I'm coming at this from not having played the 64 version, or indeed the XBLA re-release, or Perfect Dark Zero, or anything. I only know just from being peripherally in the Rare fandom. So, well, let's see what we got here so far. Nice big sprite, that's cool. There's a lot of animation frames too, so it's one of these kinds of games. But yeah, I really like the style, kind of chunky and blocky. They're saving on colors by having just black and blue for her outfit. But she really should have like reddish brown hair. Oh well. I like that the face is only a few pixels and it's all blank. There's no facial features. Reminds me of Castlevania. But let's start the training course. So here's the bad guy, of course. Mink. I wonder if that's an in-joke. Rare, of course, will always put lots of in-jokes in their games. Okay. So the guy spotted me. I shot him a couple of times. Joanna, you can obtain an item such as health, ammo. Oh, this is terrible. And weapons from the guard lying on the floor. Stand over him and press select. So yeah, digital watch as communicator is something that they made for GoldenEye. So select. Oh wow, a full screen, and then you pick the items. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so Perfect Dark was a follow-up to GoldenEye without the problematic license, which has caused it not to be able to be re-released at all. Oh, reload. Okay, I didn't expect this. We got a live fire, light gun training course thing. I'm getting Conker's Pocket Tail vibes. My friend Courtney has been streaming that recently for the first time, discovering its foibles, of course. And yeah, this is from the same team. There's actually a pretty strong connection between the two, which I should find pretty soon. It's apparently in the training course. Ooh, ow. That's interesting. The bullets look like little lightning bolts. Okay. I don't know what the health system is. This guy didn't have anything for me to loot. I assume the health system has something to do with this sort of monitor on the right side of the screen. Sort of a heartbeat monitor or something. Pow, pow, pow. Oh, I had to reload there. Ah, health. That'll help. Oh. Health wasn't an item. I guess it just works straight away. Objectives. Yeah, let's explore this menu. Complete target ranges, reach exit. Okay, can do. Restart mission. Rumble. Oh, I'd love that, but it doesn't work on the emulator, unfortunately. Yep, okay. So, a special keypad. Oh, Simon, really? Okay. That's not very secure, to show someone the code and then have them repeat it. So, it's pretty impressive, the little animation effects that go into this. When you shoot someone, there's like a blood splatter behind them. Oops. I think I do have limited ammo because I have limited reload slots that take up inventory space. Ah. Oh, right. I was there trying to mash the button, but my gun was out. I had to reload. Okay, so I'm coming to grips with the mechanics. Okay, that's good. Did I search the last guy? Whatever, doesn't matter. It's just a training course. So since the source game here was kind of a stealth shooter, I'm wondering if there's any kind of stealth mechanics where I'll sneak up behind them and do more damage. I don't know. GoldenEye didn't really have that per se. You could get headshots, which would work better if, you know, they didn't spot you first, obviously. Yeah, Gibbon agrees that it's an impressive GBC game. Yeah, I really like it so far, actually. This came at a time when I guess the handheld team had a lot of experience with the platform because it was in 2000. This one was released a few months after the console version of Perfect Dark. Although by plot, it's a prequel. We sort of covered that in the prologue there where, what's his face, the Scottish guy. Is that Carrington? Joanna, okay, I'll give you the premise here. Joanna is kind of a James Bond XP because the GoldenEye team, I guess, wanted to make another game like that, but didn't have the James Bond license anymore. So they made their own universe, and it's quite well developed. There's a thing called the Carrington Institute, which is a secret agency of some kind that, I don't know, tries to police terrorist organizations and stuff. Oh, there you go. Since I'd got a good shot on him without him spotting me, it only took one hit. So that's how that works, I suppose. And yeah, Joanna is becoming an agent in the Carrington Institute. Wow, this is pretty in-depth. So that's basic training out of the way. Oh. No single shot there. Okay. And I guess the idea of the game is that you're supposed to be investigating Datadyne, who is a company that's up to some sort of shady shenanigans. And it's hinted with the box art and the title screen, but eventually sci-fi concepts like aliens get involved. I don't really know the plot. Like I said, I haven't played the games, but so I'm really coming to this blind. I know some of the development background and stuff, again, from being part of the fandom, knowing stuff about Rare teams and such. So this is search and rescue. I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking, but the fact that I'm wandering around streets reminds me of another Rare game. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah. I don't know if that's what you expected. Here we go. So this is the Rare Cow. This is an Easter egg that the handheld team put in a lot of their games, actually. I've got a list here. It first appeared in Conker's Pocket Tales, to my knowledge. It might have been in an earlier one, because they also did the Donkey Kong Land games before that. Oh, health, nice. I noticed the amplitude and frequency of the wave on the right has increased, so I guess that means I'm healthier. Yeah, it first appeared in Conker's Pocket Tales in Vultureville, the ranch area. There were 2 of them, and they were sort of sitting there mooing and stuff. They weren't mooing, but they were moving slightly. And I guess the designers thought it was a funny, silly-looking cow sprite, and they started inserting it as an Easter egg in later games. So it appears in Mickey's Racing Adventure, which was kind of a tie-in to Mickey Speedway USA, although that also got its own actual tie-in later on the Game Boy Color. So there's 2 Mickey racing games on the Game Boy Color. Notice that the sprite isn't just flipped. She actually looks different facing left or right. That's attention to detail, and I appreciate that. So those are the only 2 times the Rare Cow appears as an actual cow. The other times it's sort of graffiti like it is here. It's just a drawing on the wall. It was then in Donkey Kong Country for Game Boy Color. In the Ice Cavern level, there's only one of them. I think it's Slip Slide Ride. It's sort of engraven into the wall if you go up a rope at some point. It was then in Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge in the sand somewhere. It was either on the floor of the sand castle or somewhere else in Breagull Beach. And what's the other one? Ah, yes, Saberwolf. I actually found that one. There was an article on Rare Gamer, which is a very nice Rare fan site. Oh, that's a bit odd looking. Okay. Some building sprite overlapping mine, but there's transparency. Weird. Anyway, they do these top 5 lists on Rare Gamer. And they had the 5 Rare Cow sightings there, but they didn't have the one from Saberwolf, which I then discovered during my actual playthrough of the game. And I added it in the comments. So if you go to that article, you can see my comment there. And Steve replying. I think it's Steve. Steve from Rare Gamer. Is that right? Yeah, it actually has more of a role in Saberwolf than in most other games. Because it's a costume that is sort of part of a trading quest. So you find it in the mayor of Blackwitch's office, and then you give it to a sailor man who then wears it to the whatever it is at the end of the game, a wedding or something. Oh, we're getting an incoming transmission. Untie the hostages to set them free. Use our inventories page to check your current objective details. Yes, I already figured that part out. Given saying that this reminds him of the Resident Evil game for Game Boy Color. Whoops, damn it. Once again, I tried to shoot when my gun was empty many times. Okay, since I just picked up a new gun, let's try that out if I can. The MG116G equip. I know that in GoldenEye, a lot of the guns were based on real guns but had fake names. Thank you. I wonder if that's the case here. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, so we have a rapid fire now. And my health is suffering. But I picked that up and it got bigger, so yeah. It's a little unclear, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. It just automatically applies itself to your health. So if you really need to, I guess you could leave the first aid kit on the guard's body and come back for it. But yeah, the top-down kind of format, I think, was done for a few different shooters on this platform, and yeah, Resident Evil was one of them. I did read about a tech demo for a Resident Evil game that would have sort of full 3D pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff the way the console versions did, but heavily scaled back, obviously, to pixel art for Game Boy Color. I believe that prototype has been dumped, so it's a pretty fascinating technical achievement, if nothing else. But yeah, I can't speak to the actual released Resident Evil game. I wonder if time stops when I'm searching a body. Good to have diagonal movement too, I like that. Okay, he's fallen through the wall. Just sticking out there. Let's search this room before we go on. Ah, good, 2 hostages. Okay, that was it. Thank you, thank you. Yes. Ah. Yeah, putting voice clips on a Game Boy Color game is pretty impressive. But Rare were always known for pushing the technical envelope. Ah yes, Given saying the Resident Evil game on GBC was called Resident Evil Gaiden. Oops. Oh. What? Nah, whatever. That was a little confusing. The door closed behind me. Anyway, running makes noise. Walk to sneak past guards. Utilize the walk to sneak up to guards and eliminate them with a single shot from your pistol. Yes, I did notice that was a mechanic earlier. Why don't we switch back to the pistol? Since Mr. Carrington or whatever has suggested it. And yeah, we see on that screen health 70%. So I'm glad I found that wreck house so quickly. I should stop running. Sneak, sneak, sneak. So yeah, the stealth mechanics. Oh, spotted. Oh, okay. We're going that far with it. Okay, that's fine. But it saved all my ammo and stuff. Why don't I just load back here? Alright, so this time I really need stealth. Yeah, so anyway, Resident Evil Gaiden, it was supposed to be a prequel to 4 before that version of 4 was scrapped and eventually cannibalized for Devil May Cry. That's really interesting, actually. That history. They were going to have a Resident Evil 4 that was quite different. And I guess you need to be close to them to get that single shot thing happening. Okay. Oops. They're pretty perceptive, I guess. So, especially when they turn around, I think is the issue. No, I didn't want to do that. Don't we just love memory games? There we go. The single shot. So are there any like plot elements that were supposed to be in... Oh, whoops. Sorry. I didn't mean to shoot the little girl. It was really suspicious though. She had, you know, advanced physics books, but she's too young for that. And what's she doing in this neighborhood at night? That's a Men in Black reference for you there. Okay, there's a lot of them. I really want to catch you out with that. Oops. I don't know how many hits I need to pass this, but doing pretty well. Oh yeah, so Gibbon does say that Gaiden does set up stuff for the 4 that never happened. Oops. Okay, so no running for now. Where's that guy? Oh, seriously? I guess I'll wait in the doorway longer. Parts of the plot got reused in the 2 Revelations games. That's pretty interesting, because they're really recent. The 3DS originally, whereas 4 was supposed to be GameCube exclusive. It was one of the Capcom big 6 or 4 or whatever it was that never ended up actually being that many, and also didn't stay on the GameCube. Okay, I'll just sneak around then. What? Oh, this is really tough. The actual stealth, if they're gonna catch me out like this all the way through the game, that's gonna get tedious, but I don't know. What? How? Anyway, Gaiden uses the same third-person top-down with first-person shooting thing. Oh yeah, okay. That's interesting. You know what? So does Conker's Pocket Tales. It's a top-down game most of the time, and then there's first-person target shooting mini-games with a slingshot. So it's not really a core mechanic. There aren't too many of the slingshot sections. Okay, I'm going to start using the fast-forward button if I want to get behind a guard's cycle. Well, I don't think this guard is going to activate his AI or spawn or whatever until I slightly get into the room, which is pretty frustrating. Okay, so I'm going to poke my head in, then get back, wait for him to come out. Hello? Seriously? Okay, there he is. He can't see me because I am like the wind. Yes. Execution style. I am a hero. Don't worry, it's all a simulation for now. We're not killing real people yet. Although I don't know quite what it means that their skin color is darker than mine. That old imperialistic kill the brown people thing. Foreigners, you know. Yeah, they're the bad guys. But, you know, that's spy movies. Some of them, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Resident Evil, I was always kind of interested in the plot and stuff, but I didn't really enjoy the gameplay too much. You cannot continue. You must have an unfinished objective. Fine. So that's the final door. I guess it says exit over it. I see. Much like Ted's boat says Ted over it. Ted's. Well, it says Ted's in the Game Boy Color version of Pocket Tales. It doesn't actually have the Ted's sign in the monochrome version. So we'll come back for that. Our current objective. Actually, what is our current objective? Find laptop and disarm bomb. So just find it. It's somewhere, I guess. I'll try different doors. No, only open doors have been accessible up till now. Yeah, so I just did 3, there's 4, so that's what we're going to do next. I did take that, didn't I? Gibbon says, oh, okay. The little girl is a lot bigger now. Gibbon says that he always struggled with Resident Evils until 4, which he owns like 5 copies of. Oh, yes, I did manage to hit the hostage taker and not the hostage. And he's played through it more times than he would care to admit. Yeah, that is what I hear, that 4 is the best one, and a lot of the other ones either aren't worth bothering with even, or just aren't the same style, so even if you like 4, you're not guaranteed to like any of the other ones. 7 is also supposed to be quite different in a other kind of way. Okay, that was good enough to pass. It's interesting how there's no music during gameplay. I guess it's because it's emphasizing the stealth aspect. So what do you got for me, Carrington? Some missions will require you to use a special item to achieve an objective. Use the laptop to defuse the bomb on this level. Oh, come on. These guys are good at their job, that's not fair. The remake of 1 is really good, but 4 was the first non-tank controls one. Yeah, I do struggle with the tank controls sometimes. Actually, the reason I decided to play Perfect Dark this week is because of the game club that I've talked about several times. Our buddy Lifeforce, who I only know from the Hardcore Gaming 101 Discord, got chosen this month to run the club, or to pick a game, and he chose In Cold Blood. I think I already talked about this during the Danger Girl stream, but oh, am I out of ammo? It seems like I got a free shot there or something. Okay, I picked up some more. Oh, it recharges over time? How does that work for a gun? Thank you. I thought I already rescued all the hostages. Gotta find a bomb. Yeah, so Danger Girl had tank controls, and it was just the style of the time, you know. That's the kind of Tomb Raider mold, whereas In Cold Blood is the Resident Evil mold, but as a spy thriller. I can't play it on stream because the main character's a man, but it's still a decent game, and although I haven't gotten too far in it and the month's almost up, I have found it interesting to play as a kind of relic of another time and technology, but it's still an interesting story and stuff. But anyway, so that's basically a Resident Evil game, so we've been talking about that a bit as we discuss In Cold Blood. But yeah, I decided to run with the spy theme because that's a kind of James Bond pastiche. Danger Girl was more of a little bit James Bond, a little bit Charlie's Angels kind of thing. And this is quite clearly a James Bond homage, especially considering the development history from the console version, GoldenEye and all that. So yeah, I'm catching up on this trend from earlier in the month after skipping 2 weeks to have other diversions. So yeah. Tank controls, Resident Evil. Okay, good enough. They sort of just pop up out of nowhere, don't they? Sometimes. Oh. I think I struggle with having enough patience for a stealth game. I did pick up the laptop, right? So all I'm looking for is where the bomb is. Joanna, you cannot continue. You must have an unfinished objective. Not again. So, yeah, Carrington having a Scottish accent is probably the same thing that Danger Girl was going for. Sort of having that Sean Connery Bond style. But all the voices in Perfect Dark, and presumably in this version too, were done by Rare employees. I think Joanna is voiced by Evelyn Fisher, or Evelyn Novakovic at this stage, who I know best from doing the music from Donkey Kong Country 3. Fantastic soundtrack. She also did some voices for other games, but also music for... well, she did a couple of tracks for the first DKC, including the map theme, which some people forget about and just credit it all to David Wise. But yeah, she also did Conker's Pocket Tales, although in that case she was converting songs that Robin Beanland had written for Conker's Quest / 12 Tales Conker 64. So he was the composer. Evelyn was just doing the conversion to chip tunes. But she did a good job at it. But her compositions in DKC3 are amazing. Joanna, you cannot... Oh, what? Oh. Okay. I defused the bomb, didn't I? Didn't I? Did I do it or not? There was sort of a keyboard on screen, which I thought might mean that I had to do some kind of input, but it just seemed to do it all automatically. Okay, that's fine. So there must be more hostages somewhere. And my health is getting low. What is it at? 25%. That's not too bad. So looking around. Yeah, so I was looking up. Oh, would you shut up, man? Yeah, looking up the staff that worked on this game was tricky because they don't credit any of the development team for what they specifically did. They're just sort of all lumped into one big paragraph. It's not split up by their roles on the team. But, you know, Grant Kirkhope's there, so you can assume that he did some of the music. Evelyn Novakovic might have done music or just voices, not sure. It does feel like I've been everywhere at this point. But was there more over here? That was just the one corridor, right? Oh man, am I not going to be able to pass the training mission? I hope I can show more of this game. I didn't do any of the requisite checking of how long a complete playthrough is. I just assumed I wouldn't be able to get through the whole playthrough. Thank you. Yes, health. How much did that give me back? A bit, but I took some damage before that, so hard to say. Alright, that should be all. Can I check objectives from here? It doesn't say if they're completed. Laptop computer. Cutting edge of technology. I remember at the time from the console game, one of the cool new features was the laptop gun, where you would drop a laptop that was connected to a turret and it would automatically target things. You gotta remember that GoldenEye was pretty groundbreaking for its time. Of course I owned it. Everyone who had a 64 almost owned a copy of GoldenEye. It was like it was a staple, it was a mainstay of parties and multiplayer sessions, as well as having a decent and interesting single player campaign. Use your initiative to search the training area to locate the hostages. So in other words, wander around until you found everything. Gibbon says, watching this is fascinating. The sprites are so freeform. Yeah, it's almost like pre-rendered and shrunk down, sort of. Reminds me of like Killer Instinct, which had a Game Boy version as well. Oh, somebody's going to drop some health soon, or I will not last long. I don't need the single shot if I can surprise them like that, because I can get enough bullets into them to get them down. 52% health, okay. So am I going to be required to go inside any buildings at this stage? Who knows? So I was at 52, went to 77, so it looks like it's 25% for each of those pickups. But yeah, I see what you mean, Gibbon. The sprites, they're not drawn the way you would if you were making them from scratch to draw a character. So that's what makes me think they were shrunk down from a larger picture. The way that Killer Instinct and Donkey Kong Country and stuff were. Possibly. Which I feel like was also the case with Conker's Pocket Tales. But also, you know, the fact that they don't have any outlines, how they kind of wobble around during animations, it's all very charming, I think. That's an interesting call, actually. Oh no, I accidentally pressed B to quit out of that screen instead of picking up. Yeah, so I don't think I managed to pick up that clip for my pistol, and I can't go back to the search screen, so it's just kind of lost. Unless I did pick it up. I might have, I don't know. Yeah, so Gibbon says it reminds him of Super Brothers, which is a game, Super Brothers: Sword and Sorcery EP, which is a slightly pretentious but really interesting looking game that was originally for iOS. Came out on computers later as well. But yeah, it had a really fascinating sprite style where the characters' limbs are really long and thin, and their heads are really tiny, but the bodies are quite chunky. But it did look a little bit like this. I understand where that comparison is coming from. Yeah. I'm kind of craving some enemy variety here. I know it's just a training mission, but oops! Did I shoot the hostage by mistake? It's okay. He's survived for now. Yeah, and of course the music was pretty integrated into that game, thanks to Jim Guthrie. They released a soundtrack separately and stuff. Oops. A lot more hostages to find.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who all seem to be dressing the same.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kind of reminds me of Metal Gear. You had to rescue a lot of hostages in that too. I mean the first, 3 or 4 games. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Snake's Revenge, which was not an official part of the series, but anyway. Yeah, spy games. It's an interesting theme. Reasonably common. That seems like a full health upgrade. So I need to go over to the exit now. One last look at the rare cow. Gonna take a screenshot of that. Lovely. Let's get out of here. Oh, I picked up something else in the alley back there. Right, so we're exiting the training course. Oh, what's this now? I guess we're in the characters.
Joanna.
Ooh,
Your
listen.
skills have grown. I'm proud of what you've accomplished. Now it's time to give you a real mission. You will be dropped into a South American jungle. The exact location must remain classified.
Ooh,
A cyborg manufacturing plant is hidden near the drop
cyborgs.
zone. Destroy it.
No comment from Joanna. So yeah, the text doesn't scroll unless you hit the button, but the audio clips continue to play. Oh. Okay. She does have a clip after all. Is it loading it into memory?
You must proceed with caution. The factory will be heavily defended, and any forces you come across will be well armed. Intel data indicates there is an attack helicopter that performs routine patrol flights. Use force when necessary, Joanna, but be careful not to compromise the mission.
There's a lot of voice acting in this game.
I won't let you down, sir.
Still confused why she has black hair. Maybe she's dyeing it, since this is a prequel. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm graduating, or? Yeah, so I've just become an agent. So this is Joanna's first ever mission. During the console game, she's already an established agent, I think. 2022, the distant future. God, that's 4 years away. Oh. Nice helicopter. Gyrocopter or something. This is really cinematic, I like it. Joanna Dark. I didn't get to explore barely any of the Carrington Institute. Okay, never mind. We are in nondescript South America. Yeah, okay, that was Carrington. I thought so. Daniel Carrington. That sprite is even cuter. That's amazing. Ooh, who's this? Max Danger. I guess he's the bad guy. Whoa. What? Is that the aliens? Please tell me I'm gonna meet some aliens. Who's this? Mink Hunter. Okay, so we did see the mink graffiti in the first stage. Wow. I like the presentation. This is great. Octopus Prime. What the hell? Is the console game like this? This is really Metal Gear having like this cast of weirdos. Octopus Prime. Okay, I don't know who you are, but I'm killing you for some reason. I don't know who... They didn't mention who's running the cyborg manufacturing plant. I guess let's assume it's Datadyne to, you know, tie into the greater lore of the series. Datadyne. Oop. You do see references to Datadyne in... I don't know, Kinect Sports Rivals? Is there any in Killer Instinct? I don't remember. Anyway, whatever. Bang! Oh, no mind. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oops. Do I have my rifle from the tutorial mission? I'm gonna guess no. I do not. But I've got lots of clips, so... We'll try and be a bit stealthy. Oh, fine. Bang. Bang. Yeah, not doing too well so far. It's going to be difficult managing these encounters so we don't lose too much health. Seems to be the name of the game. Bang. Oh, that worked one time. I guess I need to be closer for that to really work. Oof. Yes, health. Good. So, let's see. Yeah, I've got some notes here about other games in the Perfect Dark series. So, this, at the time, like I said, it came out a few months after the console game in 2000. But it's intended as a prequel, and we've seen that so far. We just saw Joanna graduating from spy school. So she's not yet, you know, the full agent. I guess she is now at this point. But yeah, Rare later went back and did another prequel game because, you know, handheld games never really count. So I don't know if it's inconsistent with this, but in Perfect Dark Zero, I don't think she's in the Carrington Institute yet. She's like, I don't know, a bounty hunter or something. Like I said, I'm not really up on the plot of this series. Come on. That should have been a single shot. Kill. I can say kill. Because I'm not a children's cartoon. I wonder what this game was rated. I did have a picture of the Australian box art, but I don't remember what it said. It was after the OFLC or whatever. The 6YYY. Let's give it a try. Our new gun. Try to not die. I did find that hidden health before. I wonder how generous they're going to be. It is the first mission. Oh, this is the perfect time to try using the old Falcon 2, overlapping my feet with his head. Yes, it actually worked. Thank goodness. So yeah, there's Perfect Dark Zero. Oopsie. Which is one of those games from Rare with an interesting development history because it was originally intended for the GameCube, much like Cameo, Elements of Power, and then development was ported to the Xbox Zero after Microsoft bought the company. And then eventually it took too long and that console didn't last too long, so the 360 came out and Rare ported a lot of their in-progress games to the 360. So both Cameo and Zero were close to launch titles for that system. Yeah, take that. Can I search you? even though I can't walk that way. Yes. Yeah. So 0, press B again. I'm gonna rewind because I'm too dumb. Too dumb to live. Yeah, 0, in addition to, you know, being swapped between all these different consoles, the art style changed a few times during development. There was a 3D render that was seen doing the rounds in the GameCube era, of basically Joanna Dark's model from the first game on the 64, but up-resed and looking all spiffy and whatnot. And then later on they experimented with this sort of cartoonish, big head, anime-esque style, you could say. And I think you can see a remnant of that in the what was it? There's like a Microsoft conference or convention or something where they had an announcement video about Rare games being on the Xbox platform. So you had like Banjo. How did it work? There was like a big thing. So it's a pretty cool video and interesting. You can see the designs of characters as they changed. So it starts with the word rare, and then Conker comes up and says, oh, I'm gonna change this. And just like he does with the 64 logo in the intro to Bad Fur Day, he whips out a chainsaw and starts sawing away at the logo until it says Xbox, because he's edited it. Oh boy. I died. I got shotted a lot of times. Let's try the stealthier approach. And then that was like, oh yeah, Rare is now like an Xbox company. And he was like, yeah, that's better. And then Banjo comes up to him and starts talking gibberish. It's pretty weird actually, because he's sort of in the Banjo games they have the mumble speak, where their voice clips are all made of just random sound bites that are sort of stitched together. So it's a mixture of that and him actually speaking words like Xbox. So he's like, blah, 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 Xbox, blah, 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 blah. It's pretty silly. And while he's doing that, Conker starts thinking to himself, and you hear his internal monologue. And he's going, what's this guy talking about? And then Joanna Dark comes up, or Cameo. I can't remember what's first. Yeah, we're going to have to do this a little better because I end up with way too low health. But there's 2 soldiers down here. Yeah, so you do see Joanna Dark during the video. There is a bit where Cameo kind of treats Conker as if he's one of the creatures from her game, and she like captures him in a bag or something. I forget how it works, but you do see Joanna at some point in the game, and she looks, like I said, cartoonish style. The way 0 was going to look for a while before they redesigned it. Alright, guns blazing it is. That guy always spots me. Oh, seriously? Bad. Very bad. Okay, I'll wait here. They're not coming any closer, are they? You see, it's nice to have large detailed sprites that are animated well, and I really appreciate that, but it can come to the detriment of gameplay when enemies can spot you and run in. You don't have much time to react or move around them the way you should be able to in a stealth game. You don't have a radar like you do in Metal Gear Solid games, or Metal Gear games rather. So it's a little bit trial and error. Nice digitized scream. Dang. Yeah, so what was I doing? Babbling about the Microsoft video. So yes, let's see. Perfect Dark Zero eventually got released. It was, you know, modern first-person shooter, and it wasn't too well received. I don't think it was quite up to scratch with other first-person shooters at the time, and also it was too different from the original Perfect Dark, so fans of that game didn't like it. I don't know. I guess if you were really a huge fan of the way Perfect Dark played, then you would have followed the team that left Rare with David Doak and formed Free Radical. I might be getting some of these details wrong, so as is often the case with Rare and buyout related stuff, misinformation abounds, but I do know that a significant portion of the GoldenEye team, Martin Hollis and I don't know, some other names that I don't remember, they left, they formed their own company, Free Radical, and they did Time Splitters. And then eventually they did... What did they do after that? They eventually became Crytek UK and worked on the Crysis games. And somehow some of them worked on Homefront: The Revolution, and levels from Time Splitters are included in that as playable, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm one shot away from death. This is really awful. So we're going to have to stealth up to this guy. Slowly now. Okay. But yeah, and now THQ Nordic has bought up the Time Splitters IP, so a re-release should be in the works at some point. There were 3 games in the Time Splitters series, and they were quite good, although I have problems with some of the representation of female characters in the game, but at least, I mean, there is a lot of them there, which is one positive thing, but they're often quite sexualized in an off-putting way. But yeah, I don't know. It's like that problem I was talking about a few weeks ago in Danger Girl, where everyone kind of looks the same face, same body shape. I'm surprised I actually didn't bring that up during playing the Lego Star Wars last week, because those games do have that problem, if you can call it a problem, with when it comes to Lego, that basically all the women have the same face plate just with different hair, kind of. So that was bad. Let's try that again. I hadn't reloaded yet. But we're in better shape now. We've got more health. Yeah. Shooting people in the head. I guess it's cartoony. I'm wondering if I should put a graphic violence warning on this stream. It's probably fine. Anyway, when I started noticing how similar Lego faces looked with women, it kind of... I can't stop noticing it now. But, you know. It's not really as much of an issue when you're talking about Lego. Yeah, I can't take that many hits right now. Gotta be more careful. Nope. So what am I doing wrong here? Let's hide behind this tree. Do. Ah, not so. Anyway, about Perfect Dark stuff. Having a female lead is part of the identity of the series, which is really cool. There was another game in development soon after the initial release of the first game in 2000. It was going to star Joanna's sister, Velvet Dark, who is otherwise only represented as a playable character in the multiplayer. So she's blonde and There was some concept of art of her wearing like an orange jumpsuit or something, but that was a bit later in the process. The way she looks in the game was different to that. I don't know. It never got too far along in development, I don't think. There's a lot of good information on like Unseen64 and sites like that, especially about Rare. It's a deep mine of unfinished games and cancelled projects, and since they're such a high-profile and respected developer, there's a lot of attention for things like that, and especially because they're also very secretive for a lot of their history. So now we can find out a lot of things that were never public before. Okay, boat time. Notice her outfit colour slightly changed just now. Yeah, I once drew a pixel art actually based on oh goodness, it's a huge shoot 'em up section, the turret section. Yeah, I did a pixel art based on unfinished Rare game protagonists, and like I said, there was a lot to choose from, so that was pretty fun. There was kind of a sub-trend within that of games that were intended to have deuteragonists that one of them got cut during development. It happened with 12 Tales Conker 64. Actually, Barry was going to be a second protagonist who had a little dinosaur companion. What? I tried to reload by pressing B, which is the usual thing, and that instead threw a grenade. Okay, well, we'll start this again. Yeah, so that would have been interesting to have two different characters with different play styles. They did it in Jet Force Gemini, of course, and that did make it through to the final product because it was kind of the whole point of the game. But it didn't get to the final product in Conker, or indeed in... What am I doing wrong then? What should I be doing? Start? No? Just keep chucking grenades? I can't reload. Maybe I don't have any ammo. Yeah, okay. So that's what the A boxes are for, and that's how you reload. Okay. I understand now. Yeah, so I guess the other big example of it would be Star Fox Adventures, which was originally Dinosaur Planet, with Saber and Crystal as the two leads, and they would have different gameplay styles and different levels that they would go through, or areas or whatever. But when they retooled it to be a Star Fox game and replaced Saber with Fox, they also replaced a lot of the Crystal gameplay sections, or rather they replaced Crystal in them with just Fox doing them, and they made his playstyle consistent through the whole game. So the magic staff and everything, that was Crystal's whole deal. She also had a dinosaur companion, actually. Kite, the princess of the Cloud Runners. Was going to be like... You see her briefly in a cutscene or something, but she was going to be like a companion for Crystal during the adventure, much like Tricky was for Saber, and later Fox. So you do play as Crystal during the intro to Star Fox Adventures, but then she gets damseled and disempowered completely. In addition to being a romantic reward for Fox on his completion of the game, which is not great. So yeah, I think it's been bad for female characters a couple of times during development of Rare games, like I said. They originally had co-starring roles that were cut out. there were some games that starred women that were completely cancelled, like Urchin. But I'm sure there were just as many that had men in them, possibly. Cameo 2. Another woman losing her sequel. Anyway, it's fine. Oh yeah, actually speaking of that, there was a planned sequel to 0. Yeah, Perfect Dark Core. That, yeah, was another game that never came out. Oh yeah, Gibbon reminds me that we recently found out that Timber the Tiger from Diddy Kong Racing was going to be the protagonist of Dinosaur Planet before they changed it to Saber, and then they changed it again to Fox. That's true. I forgot about that just now, but that's cool. Yeah, evidence of that was that game files in the data were labeled as Timber, and one of the artists who worked on the game had a portfolio online. Yikes, that was bad. I didn't have any reloads, so I better switch guns. Yeah, one of the artists had an online portfolio where they put pictures of an older looking Timber. Pretty cool stuff. Worth checking out, although I don't remember where I saw it exactly, so just, I don't know, Google it. But yeah, the fact that Star Fox Adventures, or Dinosaur Planet, was a sequel to Diddy Kong Racing is something that, you know, people have been disputing for a while. At DK Vine, they embrace it wholeheartedly. The Tricky connection, making it a prequel. Tricky, one of the bosses from Diddy Kong Racing, appears as a younger version of himself in Star Fox Adventures as the sidekick character. But yeah, originally, I guess the connections would have been much stronger. Although, I guess at that point, if Timber was older, which he certainly looked like in the concept art, then how could Tricky have been younger? I don't know. Maybe it would be Tricky's son or something. Please give me health. Yes. What are we on? 52. Let's try and keep it that way for a bit, shall we? Yeah, there's so much, like, as many great Rare games as there are, there's even more cancelled Rare games that could have been great, you know? And Rare fans, if there's one thing Rare fans love to speculate about and discuss, it's cancelled projects and unfinished elements, beta elements and such. So what's this? Shotgun ammo. Okay, it just looks different. Let's give the shotgun a try. A unique sprite. Nice. Or is that the same as the rifle we had earlier? I'm not sure. The SMG shares a sprite with a pistol, it seems. Bang! Oh. The shotgun bullet sprite that comes out from the character doesn't look any different from the usual shot. Okay, that's fine. I expected it to spread, but it was not to be. Also, the time between firing, quite long. That didn't go well. Damn. Oh, there we go. One hit. Nice. Okay. And more health. Always good to see. Pretty much just Ramboing it up at this point. Not worrying about stealth too much. Which you can afford to do when you've got more health. Whoops. They're shooting each other. That's fascinating. It's always good when a game supports that, you know? It always seems unfair that enemies just can't hurt each other for no reason. It's realistic for them, for their shots to hit each other and do some damage. In fact, one of them even killed the other one just now, which is pretty careless of them. Good stuff. Alright, secret health. Much appreciated. Oh, more secret health. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, very relieved. No more secret cows for now. Oh, I always wish that I could play as that tiny sprite, because then I'd be able to see more around me, but it seems it's just for cutscenes. So I've stolen a Jeep. What else was I... Whoa! Okay. Oh, this is a minigame. Lovely. Okay. So we've got... What is this? There's a lot of games like this. I don't think there's any one reference I could make to... Yeah, what... to what this is supposed to be a takeoff of. I did find out a few interesting things looking at the mini games of Donkey Kong Country 3 on Game Boy Advance, that version. How Cranky's minigame is derived from International Karate Plus. Funky's Boats minigame is kind of a remake of Rare's Cobra Triangle on the NES. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games like this. I don't really know, but yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. Speaking of Cobra Triangle, some of the mini games in Pocket Tales, which again linking to this one. Yeah, I've run out of ammo, but I can still ram into jeeps and spin them out. Yeah, there's like a boat driving mini game, and it's pretty much Cobra Triangle, which in turn is sort of using the same gameplay style as RC Pro-Am, one of Rare's earlier games, where it's an isometric racing game, which also has links to Diddy Kong Racing, actually, because one of the early names that they were going to use for Diddy Kong Racing was RC Pro-Am 64, and Timber was going to be the star of the game, and then Nintendo, or I think Miyamoto especially, suggested why not use Diddy Kong instead, which, you know, is fine and all and is good for the game, but is actually bad for re-releases because rights are split between the two companies, and it's a huge messy situation, which is unfortunate. But man, I can't believe, like, the amount of things that spin off Diddy Kong Racing and the connections. You can talk all day about Rare and connections between games. It's fascinating. Anyway, oh, okay. Given saying that the suggestion to use Diddy Kong was in response to them slipping their date for Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, I know that the development of Diddy Kong Racing, or the rushing of it, I suppose, was a response to Banjo-Kazooie not being ready for the holiday season, and Nintendo going, oh, well, you have to give us something. How much Nintendo relied on Rare to make the 64 great is just incredible. But anyway. Oh yeah, Given said earlier, when the car game started up, suddenly it's Road Rash. Which I'm familiar with Road Rash as a behind-the-back motorbike game on the computer. But yeah, there might have been earlier installments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, there was a thank you soundbite in Banjo-Kazooie too. Let's make that connection. Mad Monster Mansion, when you put an egg into the little pots in the graveyard and some flowers pop out, and then, like, I guess the ghost of whoever's dead body is there says, thank you. And the anecdote for that, of course, is that when Rare showed that to Nintendo, Nintendo came back at them saying, it sounds a little bit like you're swearing. So they had to really emphasize the thank you, because when you compress the sound bites, it sounded like they were saying naughty words in Banjo-Kazooie. I believe that anecdote came out of Grant Kirkhope's guest spot on the Game Grumps, which there's more things we could say about that, but I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, Rare. Good stuff. They made great games once, didn't they? Oh, by the way, you can play Perfect Dark on Rare Replay, available now. Other games are available. Yeah, the version of Perfect Dark on Rare Replay is the XBLA re-release from 2010, which is the latest Perfect Dark related release, not counting the Kinect Sports Rivals DLC. So we'll go back in that shack back there, actually. Yeah, the XBLA re-release was pretty cool. It came after they'd done similar things for Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie, remastering 64 classics with improved graphics and such. And it is a huge improvement, actually, just looking at the tile sets that were updated in the process. And all three of those re-releases, Kazooie, Tooie, and Perfect Dark, were done by 4J Studios, who, did a great job, and we respect them for that. Although they seem to have, like, since they made those, a lot of people I know want them to, or at the time kept wanting them to then go and make just that, but for all of other Rare games, like, Jet Force Gemini and, I don't know, Diddy Kong Racing, all sorts of stuff, but they tended to stop there, apparently. But yeah, what I was going to say is that 4J now seems to be the people who are in charge of porting Minecraft to different consoles. They didn't do the Vita version or the 3DS version, I think. That was done by someone else who I was reading about recently, and I can't remember who. But yeah, 4J, looking at their development history, they did those Rare ports, and then it was Minecraft. Which is kind of disappointing to see, like, a promising developer who could have continued and made good things that you want to see, but instead they end up porting something that already exists to a bunch of different platforms. I guess the XBLA ports are already that in a way, just porting something that existed already, but they are certainly improvements on the original. Well, generally speaking, there are some changes that they made to, like, Banjo-Kazooie that changed the game design and the way you play it. So it's not quite definitive, you could say. Like, certain graphics were changed for unclear reasons, but also things like in the original game, any notes that you collected during a play of a world would be lost if you died. So it was sort of like you do a level as a run, like all in one go, and then if you leave, it sort of saves your note score, and then you have to start again from scratch if you okay, this is interesting. If you wanted to do it again, so it really changes the structure of the game. Anyway, this is very weird. I'm moving left to right on the bottom, and up and down moves the cursor up and down, but the cursor doesn't change otherwise. This is actually pretty strange. What am I meant to be hitting here? Let's try and hit the cockpit, I guess? No? How about this? I can't shoot the missile thing. Okay, I can shoot the gun. I feel like I should be able to move this. Oh, I can. If I stand still and hold B, then I can move where the cursor's pointing. Okay. Interesting. Oh no, am I out of ammo? There's a weird reload system here where I can only get like 3 or 4 shots off and then nothing for a bit. Great. Okay, we took care of that. That helps. Let's try and stop it shooting rockets. Modular. Oh no, the gun came back. How is that fair? That's not how guns work. This is like a mounted turret on the helicopter. Yeah. Oh, given saying... That's interesting. 4J did the initial ports. Oh, if I'm standing behind that wall, I guess that protects me, but it also means I can't shoot it. That's why I was making all those noises. I understand now. Okay. Given saying that the studio down the street from him is the one that now handles the non-Java versions of Minecraft. Okay, so 4J is off Minecraft duty, it seems. But yeah, for a while there, they were doing every version of it, including the Nintendo and Sony console ports. Oh, what's going on? I feel like I'll try and shoot the missile launcher and hopefully it doesn't come back, but the gun came straight back and I've completely lost all my health. Let's just get this over with. Restart, try and do better. What time is it? Okay, that's pretty good. So, okay, Gibbon's saying... Oh, okay. Gibbon's saying that 4J also did the Switch port, and he's speculating that maybe they do the development of the console version, and then the Minecraft studio, quote-unquote, handles updates and such, possibly. Which, yeah, maybe, I don't know. This is tough. These controls, like, you can't move and change where the cursor is. Because it's a Game Boy Color, it doesn't have twin sticks or anything. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Yeah, that was a big brouhaha with GoldenEye's rights. I mentioned that briefly earlier. Because the movie rights were with Activision. The game rights were, like, they wanted to re-release it on Virtual Console and XBLA, and they would need the permission of the current rights holder, Activision, the people who made the game Rare under Microsoft, and the platform owner who also, like, sort of owned the game at the time, Nintendo. And the three parties almost agreed, but then Nintendo went back on it, and so none of the versions could get made, or could be released. So instead of a HD re-release or update of GoldenEye, which a lot of people wanted, we got that remake kind of thing, reboot, which reframed the game with Daniel Craig in the modern day, which was interesting in its own right. I played it on Wii and also the DS version. But I don't know. I think that GoldenEye, the game itself, hasn't aged well. And I got more value out of seeing how they'd updated the story and changed things for the, like, Daniel Craig reboot version of GoldenEye, more than I would have from just having a re-release of the original GoldenEye game. Because, like, you're not going to bring back the past. You're not going to have 4 people over with 4 Nintendo 64 controllers for a sleepover. I don't know. Those years have passed. Let them die. Alright, I'm going to save there because we've eliminated all the missile launchers. We'll take out this gun again and get a bit of breathing space so we don't immediately die. Yeah, Gibbon agrees that he liked the Craig version. Yeah, it was interesting. It's always good when a game can sort of expand. I mean, it is based on a movie, I guess. But in terms of it being a Daniel Craig reframe, it's sort of a new adventure for him. I don't know, whatever. Okay. So Gibbon, with some insider information, he's interviewed for a job at this Minecraft studio a few times, and it's always for a position porting new features from the Java version to the non-Java versions, which all share a codebase. So he's saying it's weird that 4J apparently handled the ports, but maybe it was literally just integrating whatever platform SDK to get the game running on that console. Ooh, okay, this looks like a sniper alley. Yeah, yeah, maybe, I don't know the specifics. Uh-oh. Hey! Uh-oh. Oops, didn't reload. Okay, so that's interesting. they found me. What am I supposed to do here? It's pretty cool how they break up the set pieces and stuff with the top-down levels. Especially for a Game Boy Color game. It keeps it dynamic. I like this game. I think they did a good job with it. And again, like I said, it's a new adventure for Joanna. It's not a rehash of something we saw on the console game. But I really do hope that aliens come into it at some point. Okay, save here. What's the dealio? What do I have to do? They sort of heard me and then were all alerted. Maybe if I take out that one first. Okay, no exclamation marks. That's good. So try to keep them isolated, I think, is the key. What was that? There was kind of a noise. Maybe it was like a bird. Maybe I'm supposed to use environmental cues to disguise the sound of my shots, possibly. Okay, so took that guy out. Nope. Okay, whew. Close one. We'll try and take out anyone who's coming into the path of where the bodies will be. That might be a mechanic. Whew. They started noticing me. I'm gonna save here. This is exciting. Hey! There was that Hitman sniper game on like smartphones. It's all about being a sniper. That kind of reminds me of this. Of course, there's also games like Sniper Elite and stuff. There we go. Took them all down. Oh, what? Where'd you come from if I just took everyone out? Fine. Okay. So, next top-down phase. Or isometric, I should say. Yeah, remember how her outfit went blue on the boat? Now it's kind of a bluey-green. How can they have no equipment on them at all? Doesn't make sense. I should at least get some ammo from everyone. You know, realistically. It's not realistic though. That's fine. It's a game. It's a video game. But yeah, actually, I mean, speaking of the Minecraft Rare connection, there were a couple of rare character packs, skin packs for Minecraft that were even ported to other console versions. So you had rare characters back on a Nintendo platform. For the first time. Here we go.
I didn't think you would make it past the attack helicopter.
It didn't give me too much trouble. Who are you?
He's Max Danger.
My name is Danger. Max Danger. I'm an undercover agent for the Carrington Institute. I have been sent to update
What a
you on the mission.
tryhard.
Okay, Max. What have you got for me?
We've just discovered this facility is
So you do have to press A to
producing weaponry
advance,
for
like
terrorist operations.
speech
I've
between
never seen
characters.
anything so advanced. It uses a highly volatile liquid which is stored in containers throughout the factory. A C4 charge in each factory should cause a chain reaction to boom.
That's simple, huh?
No. You have to ensure that the man behind this little operation, Mink Hunter, doesn't escape.
Mick Hunter.
You must deal with him
What a dumb
before you
name.
blow this place up.
It's a name, but also a profession. Because minks are little furry animals that they make coats out of. And this guy hunts them, I suppose. Right, so... Hope I'm not making too much noise here. Whoops. Well, they seem oblivious about it. I do like the shotgun. Gets the job done quickly. Oops. Didn't reload. Still didn't reload. I've run out of reloads. That's why. Okay. Let's go back here. We'll use the shotgun a bit, and then we'll switch to whatever else we have. Actually, never mind. Yeah, so it's the old bomb the, plant the charges and then blow stuff up. That old chestnut Oh yeah, I'm out of bullets. Got plenty of this ammo. Hey, get back here, Sonny. So this is just one big facility, it looks like. I wish I had a map. There probably were maps in like Nintendo Power and stuff. Should look that up. I heavily relied on Nintendo Power maps to get through Conker's Pocket Tales. The tones help you remember it too, that's nice. Because the buttons aren't laid out like a SNES controller should be. Even though they're coloured the same. You know, it's just primary colours, but anyway. Cool. So how do I get C4 charges exactly? I don't have any. Or do I? Why didn't Max Danger give me some? What a ridiculous name. What's this? C4. Oh, I do have it. Okay. I guess it'll just contextually activate. And I'm really low on SMG ammo, but I have tons of pistols, so we'll use that for a bit. Try and be stealthy. And probably fail. Here's a guy. Yeah. Take that. Blah. Yes, so, I don't know, we were talking about James Bond. Why don't I give some... Medic! Okay. Didn't realize I was saying that before, but... yeah, so I talked about rare stuff, development stuff, rare teams. I mean, the handheld team is interesting. There's a good diagram of all the teams at Rare and what they made. You've got like the DKC team. Okay, so here's a spider robot, which is one of the things they're building in the factory, I guess, that we have to stop. Oh, now Max Danger's coming on. You cannot continue. Must have an unfinished objective. Yes, I haven't blown anything up yet. I gotta find fuel tanks and blow them up. Yes, so the DKC team moved on to Banjo-Kazooie. The DKC 3 team then did DK64. There's like the Killer Instinct team that went on to do Conker. And through it all is the handheld team making versions of games or their own games. Actually, it is mostly versions, isn't it? Yeah. Ow. But yeah, I definitely respect the work of the handheld team. I don't know if we're going to get to the credits to see them, but it's like Duncan Botwood, Kerry Gunn. Those are the two that came to mind. There's many more. Please look it up, because these people are very talented. Yeah. But anyway, I was going to start talking about other games in this spy genre, because that's kind of the theme here, where I started the month with Danger Girl, and now I'm doing Perfect Dark. I had a few other options that I could have picked as spy-themed games with a woman lead. Oh, okay. Yep. That's bad. Okay. They've forgotten that I exist. Okay, that's great. Let's go back to the shotgun. I got a clip for that. This is definitely a shotgun situation. Oops. Got to reload again. Yes, so I've got a list here of other spy games. That guy's out of reach. Oh no. I searched him first and then not the close one. Alright, so how do I... Okay. Radioactive? You don't bomb a radioactive... No, that's terrible. This area is going to be just completely irradiated. And by area, like a huge area. You don't want to mess with this stuff. Anyway. Let's see here. So what are the like tenets of a spy game, and what are the characteristics? Well, that looks important, but I can't get through there. Let's see. Stealth is often a mechanic that they use. Different gadgets. It's all based on popular spy media, especially James Bond. Informs a lot of video game stuff. Of course, you shoot a lot of people, obviously, all the time. You go to different exotic locations on the globe of Earth map. I was running. I shouldn't have been running. Why don't we start from here and do this like a spy? Stealthy. Oh, seriously. Medic. Oh, no. No, no, no. Okay, let's do it my way. Yeah, take that. Yeah, so, I don't know. Games where you're a spy. Damn. No more ammo. Okay, fine. Yeah. So, let's see. This one came to mind pretty quickly. The Operative. That's a sort of first-person shooter game on PC that was going for the whole 60s swinging groovy kind of aesthetic that Austin Powers was also tapping into. But the protagonist was Kate Archer, who was a lady. Whoops, didn't pick that up. So there were two of those, The Operative, No One Lives Forever. And that was followed by a sequel, No One Lives Forever 2, A Spy in Harm's Way. So they were pretty cool, I guess. But unlikely to be able to play them on stream because they were PC games and, yeah, problems running them and stuff. That also got a spin-off called Contract Jack, which starred a person called Jack or something, I don't know. He was like a bad guy. So you were playing from his point of view. Or whatever. I don't know. I like games that go for a specific aesthetic of an era, you know, so that 60s look, at least on the box arts of the No One Lives Forever games, are pretty appealing. But I don't know too much about the games themselves. Apart from, they're obviously like spy thrillers, so yeah, stuff. Let's see. I had here Matahari. So this is from the subgenre of games that are based on real people. Matahari was a real-life spy during World War I who was, I guess, working for the Germans because, or at least that's what she was convicted of, was giving intelligence to the Germans. She was Dutch herself, but yeah, she was eventually executed by the French. But she's often romanticized in a lot of fiction, so there's actually a few games based on her. Her real name was Marguerite something, but her stage name was Matahari. She was actually an exotic dancer by trade, and she used that position to sort of gain intelligence and presumably pass it to the Germans. Yeah, during the First World War. Anyway, there was a game in 1988 based on her exploits, sort of. As I said, like they do sort of romanticize or, you know, gamify things. Obviously, it's kind of a platformer, a side scroller. That was on the Amstrad CPC and the Atari ST. I almost thought about putting it on a list to play at some point, but I was kind of put off by like her outfit and stuff, because I do want to keep things family friendly. Is that a rocket launcher? Good grief, what am I going to use that on? Should I save it if there's like a tank or something? I guess, why don't we give it one try? Yeah, okay, I'll give it a try. I don't want to blow up that. Yeah, actually, I won't give it a try right now, right next to the tank full of radioactive waste or whatever it is. Okay. Hey, buddy. Nice. I don't know what that is. Rocket launch ammo? Okay, so planted another C4. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I guess I haven't talked about this too much, but I deliberately try to steer away from games on stream, even though I want to play games where you've got a woman as the star. Oftentimes they'll be depicted in a way that is overly... Hang on, we'll use the rocket launcher. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, that's good. You can't search the body afterwards, it blinks away. Yeah, so I didn't want to play a game where the main character was too, like, you know, scantily dressed. There's a lot of 80s games where you're playing like a warrior woman but basically wearing a bikini. I was like, maybe not that right now. Wow, okay, so we're actually going to fight one of these spider robots that we've been seeing. Is it going to be a minigame or nope? It's going to be in this engine. Okay, so can I use this? I can only use this, actually. I can't use my normal weapons. I can't use my rocket launcher. There we go. Good, alright. So that's how this works. Avoid the rockets. When it gets in range of the laser gun, use that to shoot it. Cool stuff. Yep, so in addition to the side scroll, there were two other Matahari games that I was able to find, and they were both released in 2008, and they were both like point and clicks for the PC. One was developed in German originally, so actually that's interesting. I wonder if from a German perspective she's viewed differently than she would be in a Western developed game. Not Western, like, you know, England or France, I should say, or even, you know, America. They were allies and such. Anyway. Yeah, so that was made in German, but it was translated into English. What was it called? I think it was just called Matahari, but the other one that was released in the same year, it's kind of tricky, but it at least has a subtitle to differentiate it. It's called Mystery of the Kaiser's Submarines. I didn't write that down, but from memory, that's what it was. Yeah, okay. We'll start the boss fight again. And we won't die as much this time, I promise. So anyway, Matahari, popular subject for games and things. Let's see. Yeah, the next one I had on the list was another based on a real life person. There's a game that was on the 360 but also released for PC called Velvet Assassin. You play as a lady called Violet. Was it Velvet Summers or something? But she's based on or inspired by, quote unquote, the real life spy Violet Charbot. So, yeah, there's different spy media that's very different in tone. Anyway, that was an interesting game because this is Velvet Assassin, by the way, because you play as the character in a hospital bed, reliving her experiences and adventures as a spy. And you can do this thing where you can slow down time and get like bullet time, but it's called morphine time because the idea is that you're being administered morphine back in the real world and you're playing through your memories. Yeah, and like things that are happening to you are affecting them. That's weird. But because it's sort of a dreamlike recollection thing, they can do a lot of interesting visual touches with that game. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. But I actually probably won't ever be able to play it because it was like 360 only, and I could maybe try the PC version, but yeah, that's not usually such a great idea with my computer. Oh, nuts. Reload first, guys. Always keep your guns fully loaded. That's some life advice for you. Please do not, if you own a gun, like, just go and give it to the police. You don't need it. Seriously. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, so the real life Violet Charbot was French/British. Apparently she was both. And like working for both, and they were allied, of course. Yeah, in the Second World War, but she was captured, she was caught and executed by the Germans. So that's kind of the risk you take when you're a spy, but also, yeah, these people, if they, like, their own country calls them heroes, but the other side, like, they're the worst of the worst, you know. Anyway. Health, I need it, but I can't get over there. So, where do I go now? Up? Okay, in here. Another big, identical facility to wander through. Alright. And I'll go prepared with ammo. So, yeah, we'll just use this. We haven't got too long left. Might as well use the ammo that I have. No point saving it. Yes, okay. So, shifting gears a little. Like I said, with spy fiction, you get quite different tones between different works. But there were a few games that are based on cartoons. So I don't know if you know the cartoon Totally Spies, which Danger Girl kind of reminded me of as well. I didn't mention it at the time, but it's a show that I saw on TV sometimes, but I guess I didn't really watch it because I viewed it as a girls' show when I was in that age group. But yeah, it's about sort of teenage girls at high school who are secretly part of a spy team, and I don't know, they had to do spy stuff. Given saying, hello, I was married to a lesbian who loved spy fiction. Of course I'm aware of Totally Spies. Cool. All right. So you'll know, of course, that it was a French production, the cartoon, and starred 3 girls called Sam, Alex, and Clover. And one was a redhead, one was blonde, and one had slightly dark skin. And black hair. So, you know, that's diversity. Pow, pow, pow. So, yeah, I don't think they went around with guns shooting people, because this is like a kid's show. And, I mean, like, they had their special spy jumpsuits that were incredibly garish, bright colors, like bright green, red, and yellow. I'm just saying, I don't know how good they would be at spying when they're dressed like that. Like, black catsuits, they're a thing. Bright orange catsuits, not so much. Anyway.
Thank you.
Maybe it was keying off the, like, 60s fashion aesthetic in the same way that things like Austin Powers were. Gibbon saying he's still of the opinion that Totally Spies was influential on Debs. Sorry, Debs, what is that exactly? DEBS. Dogs eating bread slices, I'm going to assume is what he means. Which is, I guess, some kind of spy fiction work about dogs. Oh, here's a new user in chat, Vela, saying nice game choice. Thank you, Vela. Good to see you. Yeah. This is Perfect Dark, but the one on Game Boy Color. It's showing Joanna's first mission as part of the Carrington Institute. Okay. Brief Simon break here. Was it 2? Yep. Okay, good. So Debs is a 2004 live-action high school girls are spies film about the main character figuring out that she is gay. Okay, that's interesting. Huh. Yeah, I've never heard of it. That's sounds cool. Yeah. I guess kids as spies thing is quite common actually now that I think of it. You've got like Spy Kids. I didn't write any like Spy Kids games down, but the main characters in that are like a boy and a girl children. But yeah, you've got like that, Cody Banks, what else? Alex something. There's a bunch of like YA novels about that kind of thing and TV shows, movies. It's actually really common now that I think of it. Yeah. Okay, so I've put the bomb down. That means I should go somewhere. Where have I not been? I haven't been over here. Oh yeah, Vela, I'm just getting to that. So yeah, Totally Spies. There were 6 games made to tie in for that series. A couple on the PC, one on Java mobile phone, one on Game Boy Advance, one on DS, one on the PS2 and the Wii. Oh, okay. We're getting into a zone with some bad guys. Okay, hang on. I'll back up here. Yes, so I mentioned that, and yes, Kim Possible. Vela is completely right. Kim Possible was just in that same vein of a high school girl who is secretly a spy, and she's got her own little team. There's Ron, her friend, and Wade backing her up as the, navigator guy. And a whole rogues gallery. I remember that being a strong component of the show. Yeah, so Kim Possible for sure. There were 3 Game Boy Advance games actually. Vela mentioned one, but there's 3 in total, and then 2 on the DS as well, and then 1 on the PS2. So yeah, that was a popular series. I think it was Nickelodeon. No, it was Disney. Yeah, it's Disney. Oops. Reload, guys. Reload. Oops. I could have done that better. Bang! Damn. I have so much pistol ammo, I just have to use it, I guess. Anyway, yeah. Kim Possible was cool, and she dressed sensibly, which was nice. She's also got a good sprite for games because she has long red hair that kind of flaps around, so that's nice. Yeah. So, Gibbon's saying, through a series of wacky happenings, she, the girl in Debs, he's saying, gets set up on a blind date with the also academy-aged female master thief that the spies have been chasing, and hijinks ensue. That sounds great. Yeah, that's a funny plot when, like, the good guy has to kind of team up with a quote-unquote bad guy, something. Yeah, it's cool. Hijinks, love it. Oh, okay. Given saying one of the sororities in Totally Spies is even called Debs, and saying you can't tell me there's not a connection. I'm convinced. I think it might actually be the other way round. Totally Spies might have been after Debs, but I can't say for sure. You would know better than me, I guess. Alright, what are we going to do here? We're going to be stealthy. That's what we're going to do. Totally Spies with 2001. Okay, so it was first, and then Debs came after. Ugh, I really need more health. Does my shotgun have any ammo? It has like one shot. I guess I'll use it. Bang. Cool. Yep, that's it. Back to... why don't we use the rocket launcher? Hey, why not? Oh, but then we won't get any health pickups. Damn it. Alright, there's health. That's good. We'll go get that. Save. Catch up to this guy. Execution style. Nah, whatever. It's fine. I got the health. Yeah, okay. So that covered all the games that I could find that were about women spies, particularly. What was next? Oh, good. I did remember correctly. Okay, yes. So, recap. We've got the 2 No One Lives Forever games. We've got 3 games based on Matahari, 1 based on Violet Chavo, Velvet Assassin. Oh, bad. And then 6 Totally Spies games and 3... Oh, no. Yeah, another 6 Kim Possible games. Although, actually, I'm not sure how many of the Kim Possible games have Kim as the sole playable character, because Ron might be in some, I don't know. But, yes, moving on. I found partial credit games, so there's several games that are based on a property that has a female spy, or has one of the playable characters being female. In a spy-themed game. So first one that I thought about there was Ghost in the Shell, which... Oh, yikes. So Ghost in the Shell is about like a secret sort of task force. They're basically spies. I kind of thought they were sort of police at first, but I guess they're considered spies. I haven't seen the show, I'm sorry, or movies or anything, including the Scarlett Johansson version. Johansson? Not sure. How... I can't figure out how this headshot mechanic works. Like, this should work, right? Oh, it did. Okay. Yeah, but Ghost in the Shell had a bunch of games. Well, I guess only 4. 1 on the PlayStation, 1 on PS2, 1 on PSP, and 1 recently on the computers. That's like a big multiplayer shoot-'em-up one. But in 2 of them, the first one I mentioned and the last one I mentioned, you don't even play as Major Kusanagi, who is the kind of main character of the show, who is the lady who is like a brain in a completely cyborg body. That's her deal. It's kind of a world where everyone has cyborg parts, but she's almost completely cyborg except for her brain. Almost completely mechanical, I should say, except for the brain. But yeah, there's the PS2 game and the PSP game have quite large casts of playable characters, so you play as a bunch of supporting characters as well as being Major. So even though she's kind of the lead character in the series, she's not really the lead character in any of the games, really. So, yeah, it's too bad. Oh, okay, so we're completely able to shoot each other, even though we're standing on different levels on this walkway. That makes sense. Damn. I'm at that low health stage again when I've saved and I have to, yeah. Okay, that's cool. Even though we can shoot each other like that, he didn't see me. Oh. Yeah, so the multiplayer shooter game, you make your own character. And I think you also make your own character on the PSX game. But in the story, they're male. Okay. Do I have any... Nope. Alright, time for drastic measures. Mutually assured destruction. No, I can't search him even if I'm quick. Yes, so Ghost in the Shell, that was a thing. What else is a thing? Yes, elevator action. Classic old game. The first one, you're just a dude, but there's a lot of sequels, and in most of the latter ones, there's 3 selectable characters, and one of them is a woman. That was kind of a trend I saw. Another one that's like that is Impossible Mission, which again is an old game from the Commodore 64 days. What kind of game was it? It was a lot like elevator action, actually, like a side scroller. But obviously, clearly, it's riffing on Mission Impossible. Like, they're not even being subtle about it. So yeah, that got a reboot. Yeah, okay, so there were 2 games in the 80s where you're playing as a guy again, but let's see, there was one on the Amiga in the 90s called Impossible Mission 2025, where, again, 3 selectable characters. One of them is a woman called Tasha, and then there was a reboot of the series on the DS, the PS2, and the Wii, where you play as one of 3 people. Alpha 1, who's like a guy with sunglasses. I think Gamma was the robot, who basically looks like skinless Terminator. And Delta was a lady, blonde lady. Sneaky, sneaky, boom. Okay. Yes, so that's that. Impossible Mission. Yeah, very subtle. What else was there? Confidential Mission, which is a very bland kind of name, but it was I think, Sega light gun shooter on the arcade and Dreamcast. 2 main characters. The lady was called Jean Clifford, but yeah, I don't think you see your character much because you're a crosshair. Here we go.
I have been expecting you.
Who's this?
If you think you can just waltz in here and destroy my little operation.
Although he's kind of like Hondo
Very
Onaka
much
from Clone Wars and
mistaken.
Rebels.
Give it up, Hunter. This is the end of the line.
So this is Mink Hunter.
I've placed explosives throughout your factory, and as soon as I've dealt with you, I'm going to blow this place apart.
Just like Max
You'll
Danger
have to
said.
get past me first, girl.
Have it your own way.
Have it your own way. Ow. Okay. What? What's this? Suddenly we're playing Pong or something? We're each throwing, bouncing like shuriken at each other. Wow, okay. This is interesting. It's a boss fight, but it's also a mini game. And if your shuriken rebounds and sticks in a wall, you have to retrieve it. Okay. Miss Dark, I've been expecting you.
If you think you can just waltz in here and destroy my little operation.
He still sounds like Watto, actually, since I'm talking about Star Wars. Given says, why is Raiden from Mortal Kombat playing Pong with you? I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. No, the reason is because this is Mink Hunter, who seems to be wearing like an apron or something and a big hat. I don't know what this character is supposed to be, but he's pretty crazy. Alright, so load here. Nope, load here. And then, okay, I'm always going to get hit by that after that load, unfortunately. Yeah, this is tough. I'm going to have to hit him more than he hits me, and I don't know if I can do that. Ew. Yeah, you just got to watch that trajectory. Memorize. Ah, why can't I use it anymore? Okay, there it is. Yeah, this is bad. This is not going well for me. Anyway, let's get through this list. So we had Confidential Mission with the light guns. Covert Action, which was I think it's actually called Sid Meier's Covert Action, one of the many Sid Meier sim games. This one was a secret agent simulator where you, I don't know, you get your character to do secret agent-y stuff. And yeah, you could play as... Your character was called Max Remington, but it could either be Maximilian or Maxine, your choice, whether you were male or female. Yeah, I don't have much experience with Sid Meier's games, but he's a very prolific game designer and like well known enough that a lot of times his name is right there on the box art in the title of the game. Oh man, no, I don't know what's this cooldown that I sometimes just can't throw a thing. Okay, well. So the last one I had was Spy Fiction. That was a Japanese game on the PS2, which was, you know, pretty over the top, I guess. And you could play as Bishop or Sheila, apparently. Although they spelled Sheila with an I-E, so I don't know if it's Shyla or something. But, yeah. It was an odd combination of names, to be honest. So that's all I could find. That second list I read was like games where a woman was selectable or just part of the cast of playable characters. But yeah, that was sort of all the things I had to consider for spy games, and I picked Perfect Dark. Because even though a lot of people will have heard of it, not as many people familiar with the Game Boy Color version, I guess. Come on. I don't understand why I have such a cooldown on the shuriken. And why it bounces so much. And why we are like limiting ourselves to this rules of engagement. I have a rocket launcher right now. I could pull it out and just go wild. I don't get it. I guess Joanna has honor. Okay, so maybe the answer is that I don't have to hit the button to throw the shuriken. Yes, okay, that is the answer. I don't hit the button, I have to hold the button and then press up or down to throw it in an up or down direction. So that's why I was having trouble just now. But I understand it now, so now I will definitely beat this guy, no problem. I promise. I shouldn't make promises that I can't keep. Don't write checks your butt won't cash. Ow. Truly, mine is a butt that won't quit. Yeah. So yeah, spies is a common theme for fiction because it's like power fantasy, wish fulfillment and stuff a lot of the time, because they are allowed to go and kill anyone and be attractive to people and blow stuff up all the time. But as we saw with Violet Sharber and Mata Hari, like their actual lives aren't so glamorous, and they often end up captured and killed because people don't like you spying on them. I think I have to try and... Oh, this guy is too good at this minigame. I didn't expect this. I really want to beat this before finishing today. This is going to be the last thing I do on the stream. I think I might be about halfway through the game, I guess. I haven't met that last character who I was introduced to in the opening crawl thing. What was his name? Octopus Punk or something? Octopus something? It was pretty crazy, and he had a big like shredder mask on. So I don't know what his deal was, but he definitely looked like a Metal Gear villain. But yeah, Mink Hunter, stupid name, fun, like dumb design, silly voice. It's got all the elements there. Yeah, Gibbon agrees. It is very Metal Gear, and of course, at this point, was Metal Gear Solid out? No, because that was the first one that had like the really crazy boss characters. Metal Gear 1 and 2, I think. Alright, I'm going to rewind a bit and try and avoid those last two hits. Yeah, okay, that's good. We'll go from here. Save. That's... No, not Master Octopus. Was it? I don't know. It had Octopus in the name. Gibbons contradicting me. Metal Gear 1 and 2, he says, also had pretty out there boss characters. Yeah, but like they were things like the running man who just ran around a lot. I guess what I mean is they didn't have crazy designs really, and you didn't get to interact with them too much. They had a few voice lines at the start. What was the quickshot kid or whatever who like his thing was just that he could shoot you with a gun? Okay, so Metal Gear Solid does predate this by a couple of years. That's right. I did have a memory that it was 1998. But yeah, there was like a football team. I think that was Snake's Revenge. They were a boss fight. 4 Horsemen in the elevator. I'm trying to remember.
Mission successful, sir.
Mission successful, sir. Mink Hunter fell into a tank of lava or something.
Anything to report?
I guess it was molten metal. Typical video game.
Although there was heavy
Action movie.
resistance, I was able to destroy the facility and eliminate the head of the forces.
Yes, I did.
There was one odd thing. During the landing, I witnessed an aircraft being shot down. I made a note of the coordinates.
Oh, we're gonna go there next.
Good,
Aliens?
good. You've done well, Joanna. We'll take a look at
Aliens,
these
Lister.
coordinates
It was
and download the
aliens.
satellite data for the area. I knew you would make a good agent. I'll expect a full report on my desk before you leave.
Oh man, paperwork.
Learn nothing, Joanna. In all of the satellite data, that grid square is empty. But we got hold of an Air Force pilot's report of a UFO in the area at the time.
UFO.
UFO? More likely it's an experimental aircraft.
I agree, but it's still worth investigating. Go and snoop around the crash site and see what you can find. But look out for Datadyne activity in the area. We're getting a lot of strange reports.
Datadyne.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're checking out the crashed thing. Oh man, it's like time to stop, but the one thing I wanted to find in this game was aliens, and probably won't come till the end of this mission, will it? Oh, okay, we found a wreck. Unclear what that is meant to represent. Does look pretty U for an FO. Yeah, you are right. Given Metal Gear 2 had a lot more interesting bosses, but of course we didn't get that in English until years later, he says. Yeah, like they were pretty crazy, but you didn't get like, they weren't as in your face with like a cutscene with them talking at you kind of thing, I guess, is the distinction I'm making arbitrarily, because you're right, like having crazy boss characters has always been part of the series' identity, but they did get more crazy as time went on, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know where I am now. I guess a Datadyne facility or something. One of those aliens so bad. Oh, Max Danger's back. Okay, well, I'll talk to him at least.
Datadyne are moving the wreckage as we speak.
Is he meant to look like Sting from June? Maybe. I don't know.
Max, hi.
Max,
How do I
hi.
access the crash site?
How do I access the crash
You
site?
will need 2 key cards to get access to the crash site. But there's more. I've been in contact with the Institute, and Carrington has instructed me to update your mission objectives.
Oh, that's a little shady. Can I trust this guy? We're getting on-the-scene mission updates from someone
What are
who
they?
claims to be
You
from
must steal
Carrington.
a laptop computer and download the Datadyne files onto it.
I don't know if I can
The
trust him.
files are
Look at his
stored
hair.
on a mainframe in the west wing of the base. It is locked by an additional key card.
Is that all?
No. You'll need to switch the power matrix off before you
Oh,
can
here we
perform
go.
the download. The room containing the matrix is probably
Deep inside.
the base.
Yeah, typical. All right, I'm not going to get any further in this
Okay.
game.
I'd better get moving.
I'd better get moving. I'd better get moving. I'd better get moving. I'd better get moving. I'd better get moving. All right, I'd better get moving. Ah, my guns have been completely reset. Of course. Typical. But we have a new enemy type. My guess is they will behave exactly the same as the other enemy types. Turn around, Buster. Whatever. I'll just shoot you. Full bodysuit on here, no skin showing. Oh wow, look at this guy. He's like a ninja or something. Nothing on him. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. This was Perfect Dark for GBC. We couldn't get all the way through, unfortunately, and we couldn't get to the aliens, unfortunately, but there are aliens. That's part of the Perfect Dark mythos. Yeah, it's too bad. There's a character called Elvis who is a grey that you meet in Perfect Dark. That's basically all I know about the series, is that Elvis exists. And I guess it's unlikely that Elvis will be in this game since you meet him in Perfect Dark, but anyway. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. We talked about a bunch of different spy games. This was probably the best choice to play, I guess, considering I never really watched Kim Possible or Totally Spies, and the other ones had other problems being too advanced and stuff, so it's a good retro option. But yeah, I'm impressed with this game. I do love Rare, and I think the handheld team did a good job with this one. So props to them. And yeah, this was fun. Hope you had a good time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week with something completely different. Who knows what it will be? I have a pretty good idea, but it's contingent on a few factors, so I won't tell you just yet. But yeah, Gibbon agrees this is an impressive game, but he also knows nothing about the series. I was kind of hoping Cameron would show up. He's a big fan, but he, that's okay. Yeah, we did all right here. Anyway, yeah, this is a cool game. It makes me kind of want to play the other games, but I can't really do that. I don't have an Xbox. So, yep, that's it. Thanks, and goodbye. Goodbye. Joanna Dark.